participants. Welcome to the today's webinar on Introduction to GeM, Government eMarketplace. We are pleased to have all of you here today as we explore the innovative platform revolutionizing procurement processes in the public sector. Before we delve into the detail of GeM, let's first understand the basics of it. The GeM, short form of Government eMarketplace. It is a transformative digital platform launched by Government of India to facilitate procurement of goods and services by various government departments, organizations, and public sector undertakings, PSUs basically. With its user-friendly interface and transparent process, GeM aims to streamline procurement, promote efficiency, and enhance transparency in public procurement processes. Today, our primary goal is to introduce you to the fundamental concept of GeM, its functionalities, and showcase its significance in revolutionizing procurement practices in the public sector. Whether you are from government sector, from a private sector, as a supplier, or as a stakeholder interested in undertaking the dynamics of e-procurement, this session will provide you with a valuable insights into the world of GeM. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Mahesh Rana to take over and guide you all on the topic. Mr. Rana is a procurement specialist having 10 plus year experiences in private and public sector both. So let's, Mr. Mahesh, can you please join?
Yes. So am I audible to all
Yes,
of you?
thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. So thank you, Arun. So let me introduce myself. I am Mahesh Rana, and I have total 25 years of experience in public procurement. I have served in Indian Air Force as a procurement specialist, and then I have served Ministry of Environment for more than 10 years as National Procurement Head. I am I have got the opportunity to serve some of the World Bank project. I am empaneled World Bank procurement trainer, and recently I have been certified by United Nations Environment Program for green procurement and sustainable procurement. So I have got experience on GeM, especially while working in procurement field. So all of you, I welcome you on this session. So this session will give some overview of GeM, what is GeM and how it is beneficial for the procurement entity and as well as to the sellers. So this session will be beneficial to both the participants. So in this session, we are going to have an overview that what is the benefit of GeM and what are the features of GeM. So before GeM, so this was my introduction, which I have already covered. So GeM, before GeM also, we were doing the procurement, but we were facing as a procurement entity, we were having certain challenges that we were inviting the bids, we were preparing the uh, specification for the product, and then we were inviting it and then evaluating the bids, asking for the documents which are not available, which are not submitted by the supplier. So after that we were evaluating it and then awarding the contract. So it was a cumbersome process. So GeM platform is such platform wherein we have all the features inbuilt, and it is very beneficial to the procuring entity because it has got all the features inbuilt, and our most of the workload has been taken over by GeM, and it is so systematic that we have got the transparency, it is economical, and we get the best price, and quality also means that the quality of the goods is also good. So we will go through what are the features of GeM and how it is beneficial for the procuring entity as a procurement professional, and then we will have a look from the seller side that how it is beneficial for the sellers. So we will try to cover both the things. So let us introduce, let us see that what are the features. Rule 149 of GFR, General Financial Rule, it has got the features of procurement of goods and services by ministries or department will be mandatory for goods or services available on GeM. So most of the government departments now it has become mandatory that you need to procure the items for GeM, and slowly it will be mandatory in all the departments. Few of the states and some ministries are still doing procurement through their own e-procurement system, but slowly, because GeM is becoming more dynamic and it is becoming more efficient, so we are switching over to GeM. So we will go through the main features of GeM, and 36 UTs and states have signed the MOU with GeM on procurement. So here we can see some of the organization like IMA, FICCI, SIDBI. So they have also partnered with the GeM, and these are on our right side we can see some of the entities which are integrated into GeM. Like if we are making the payment, so these are the banks, and Aadhaar, it is linked with Aadhaar, so it is very systematic, and all the features of procurement are inbuilt into GeM. So the statistics, if we look at it, so we can see that 50 more than 50,000 buyer organizations are already registered on GeM, and they are using it for their procurement purpose. More than 20 lakh sellers are already registered, and it is dynamic. So more and more service providers, more and more goods providers, they are registering themselves, and how it is benefiting them and how it is benefiting the user department, we will discuss that as well. So let me tell you, I have trained the procurement professionals of Rajasthan government. So I was working with Rajasthan government for past 1 year, wherein I was giving the training to the procurement professionals of Rajasthan government how to procure. And GeM features, when I introduced, when I elaborated to them, so it was very interesting, and they were very happy and excited that how uh, GeM procedures and GeM platform is helping them in avoiding so many problems, the critical problems, because I have been working in procurement field for many years. So the main problem, like how to create the requirements, how to create the specification, so those are the challenges, and GeM has got the features inbuilt in it, and most of the items we can get the specification in GeM itself. And one more challenge, I will discuss it with you, that when we frame the conditions of our procurement, so we have got ITB, we have got bid data sheet in that, we have got draft contract in that, we have got eligibility criteria in that. So as a procurement professional, we face challenges how to draft it. If we have got somebody who is very senior to us, and who can give us guidance in that field, it is fine. But if we are not that uh, qualified in the field of procurement, so it is a big challenge that how to draft the conditions. So GeM gives us the feasibility. GeM gives us the flexibility that the conditions are inbuilt into it. The features are available. The most of the conditions, the draft contract conditions, the ITB conditions. So there is very less chance that we may make mistake. So it is very beneficial to us as a procurement professional that if we are procuring through GeM, so our most of the problems are being taken care of. So more than 40 lakh products or service are available on GeM, and till date 68 lakh. Now the figure is old, so it must have been crossed. 70 lakh orders have been already been placed on GeM, and the if we see the value, so it is more than 1,13,000 crore worth value of procurement has been done on GeM. So why GeM? We were discussing that uh, give why we should procure the through GeM. So that is very crucial point because we are already using our own system, and most of the procuring entity have got their own e-procurement portal. So why we should use GeM? So there are some certain features if we go through. So we will find that GeM is very efficient, very systematic, and very economical, transparent system wherein most of the things are being taken care of by the system. So why GeM? So first of all, it is a wide market. It is a pan India. The suppliers, the sellers from all part of country are available on GeM. First thing. Secondly, it is process driven rather than person driven. What does it mean? Means the all the process of procurement, because procurement is such a field that most of us, you will be agreeing with this, that there is no qualification available in procurement like MBA in procurement or BTech in procurement, so it is not available. So we learn the procurement through either by seeing the older pattern, like how the procurement was done by our ancestors, or how somebody has done. So we just refer them, and we uh, learn it through as we work. We keep on working. So it is a process driven. So the GEM has got everything inbuilt, so it is a process driven. It is not being dealt by a certain person's fancy ideas, like means he may be having some certain criteria in his mind. So it has got the standard procedure, system driven tendering process by retaining the element of manual tender process. Whatever process we were doing manually, so all the process, because those processes, those conditions were very important, and those were developed by after experiencing so many things. So all the conditions have been inbuilt in this, and most of the conditions are retained in the process of GEM. Transparency is there. It is very crucial because in procurement we are blamed by most of the sellers that there is corruption in the procurement. If we sell anything, if we supply any item, so they blame the procuring agency. It may be right or it may be wrong. It may be just it may not be correct, but there are chances that they blame the procuring entity that there is corruption. They don't clear the payment in time, they harass us. So GeM gives us the platform where the payment process is transparent. We have to release the payment if the item is correct, if the item is meeting the criteria, if the item is supplied in the correct condition, it is not damaged, then we have to clear the payment in systematic way within timeline. If we don't clear the payment within time, so what will happen, we will discuss that as well, because we may land into red category. So it is a very black spot on our integrity. So we will see that as well. So there is a transparency in the payment process. Reverse auction process, it is the feature which is very interesting. I will discuss it in detail, because reverse auction is the process which gives the procuring entity the best price. So what is reverse auction, how it is inbuilt in GeM, and how it is important for all the procurement professionals which we are dealing in our procurement. Next is dynamic upgrade of portal. See, when GeM was introduced, there were so many lacunas in the system. Items were supplied, but they were not of quality. Even I have faced the problem that I procured the uh, ink cartridge for my photostat machine. So when I received it, I found that the item was cheap. Item was costing very less, below the price. But when I used it, I found it that it was refilled. It was not new. So there were certain challenges when it started. But now it is being upgraded, and GeM is assessing the vendors, their quality. The procuring entities are giving feedback regarding the seller. So all those things are getting inbuilt and it is improving day by day. Many features are being added in GeM and every day it is improving. So it is now flourishing like a one-stop solution for procuring entities as well as the sellers. So now we can see the difference between manual procurement and procurement through GeM. All of you who are very senior into this profession, into the profession of procurement, you will agree with me that in manual procurement, we were receiving the requisition from the user department, then we were preparing the document, user conditions, technical specification, eligibility criteria, how much turnover we should ask for, and what are the similar kind of experience, whether he has supplied or not, the similar kind of item. So all those things. So after preparing the tender document, then we were just publishing the tender document on newspaper, either in newspaper. So they were coming and purchasing the tender document from procuring entity, and then we were getting the quotation. We were comparing it, and after the comparison, after evaluation, we were issuing the POs to them. Then the items were supplied, we were accepting it, and delivery challenge was made. Then invoices were raised, and then payment was made. So it was a very cumbersome process and very, you can say, it was very complex kind of thing. So if the person is experienced and if he has got so much of knowledge, then he can do all these things manually. And but if he is fresh, he has not got that much experience, so chances of mistake was more. And you will agree with me, all of you, that there is zero tolerance in procurement. If as a procurement professional we make any mistake, so we must have done 100 things in the right way, nobody will praise us. If we make one mistake, then they will just like means insult this in front of everybody. So procurement has got zero tolerance. There is no गलती से भी गलती नहीं होना है, गलती करना ही नहीं है, गलती के लिए चांस ही नहीं है. So that is the crux of procurement. So now procurement through GeM, this system provides us that requisition we raise, then search the marketplace in GeM portal. GeM is a marketplace wherein we have got most of the items available on GeM portal. Based on the value, we can decide the type of procurement. If it is very less value, like 25,000 up to that, so we can procure it directly. So how we can procure it, we will just see in the next slides. And if it is more than that, then we can go for bidding. We will see that. So then after that, we can place the order. Contract is automatically generated, sanction order is issued, and after the contract is awarded to the bidder, then they supply the item. After receiving the item, then we will certify that item has been received at our place and it is good in condition. If there is any issue, we can just revert on GeM. Otherwise, we have to accept it and invoice is generated automatically. We will accept the good and it will be uploaded in the portal. And the most important thing, that after receiving the item, the payment will be processed in time. So these are all the features which differentiate the procurement through GeM from the manual procurement. Now, along with this, there are certain features which are added to this. We will discuss these features in our later slides. So like GeM SPV is there, MSP, PMU team of SPVs is there. We can create it on GeM. Then the buyers are from central government, it may be from state government. PSUs are allowed to use GeM, and some bodies, autonomous bodies, can also use the GeM portal. And in sellers, legal entities, whosoever is registered in India, it may be proprietorship firm, it may be LLP, it may be private limited company, it may be public limited company, PSUs. So these are all sellers which have been authorized to sell the products, goods or services on the GeM portal. So we have got the partners like banks and nationalized banks, private banks, QCI is there, other government agencies are there, and friends, the most important thing that if we do the procurement through GeM, then we are not immune to the inspecting agencies. Anybody like in procurement, in government procurement, agencies are authorized to view our procurement. So CAG, the guidelines of CAG, guidelines of CVC, CGDA, RTI is applicable on GeM as well. So these things are very crucial and very important for a procurement professional and other government agencies which have got the involvement in GEM procurement. These are Aadhaar link UIDAI because even the person who is doing the procurement, he has to give the OTP which will be connected with his Aadhaar card. When database is there, MCA guidelines are there which are related with the sellers, GST number, PFMS system, financial system. So these are all combined and clubbed together on GEM platform. So dear friends, now GEM provides us multiple procurement options. We basically these are we can see there are three options available: direct purchase. If our procurement is less than 25,000, we can just go, we can just find the product and we can purchase it. It is known as direct purchase. Then through purchase acquisition like from 25,000 to up to 5 lakh rupees, we have to go for L1 product, L1 bidder. Then we will have the RA option as well, reverse auction. What is reverse auction? I will just discuss it in my next slides. So now this is the workflow how we put our demand, how we upload the tender on GEM, and how what are the documents we ask from the supplier. So those things. This side is for the buyers, and this is for sellers. So you can see that for buyer side there are primary user and secondary user. Now we will understand in our next slide that how the primary user is setting up. If we are new to the GEM and we are trying to register ourselves on GEM, then director level person should be there who will be the primary user. So initially for initial setup, the primary user will be creating the account and then he will be authorizing the secondary user who will be using the GEM for their purchase. So initiating procurement and contract, generating L1, purchase requisition, bid or reverse auction. So these are the workflow, and receiving goods, CRS generation, bill generation, and payment processing. So this is a small flow chart, which is showing us what is the transaction flow. Whereas we should understand the flow chart of seller as well, because as a buyer we are procuring the thing, but how it is dealing with seller, how GEM is reacting with seller. So we should try to understand that as well, because number one thing is that they will be registering themselves. So GEM does not allow every seller on GEM. So there are certain guidelines which are to be fulfilled by the sellers. So registration, while registering, if any vendor is registering on GEM, so they should submit their credential. They will submit the initial documents which are mandatory for registration on GEM. They will creating the vendor analysis will be done by GEM. There will be brand creation, OEM supplier. If they are OEM supplier, then they will be submitting the document for that. If they are reseller, so they will be submitting a document for that. And then the sellers will be uploading the products which they are going to supply on GEM. And this process is so clear and so systematic that chances of fraud are very less. So after registration, they will be submitting their EMD. Some guarantee also is being taken by GEM, so that if there is any fraud, so there can be that amount can be recovered from the supplier. After the complete process, they will be participating in the procurement. And after the supplying the item, they will be generating the invoice and payment will be released. Now, what are the benefits suppliers will get on registering with GeM? That is a big question. Why they will come on GeM? So that we will also discuss, because we should try to understand the features from both the sides. What are the features which are good for buyer, and what are the features which are good for seller, and we should understand both the sides. So now this is the workflow. Primary user, I've already discussed that register organization. The organization will register themselves. It will be registered on the primary user name. Creation, modification of division. Then primary user will be doing it. They will be creating the secondary user, and for creating the primary user account, the person should be above director level, and it will be linked with his Aadhaar number, his or her Aadhaar number. So Aadhaar number is mandatory. So now the responsibility is fixed, and then they will be creating the secondary users. Secondary user can be the person who is doing the in the procurement department. So anybody can who has got the Aadhaar card, he can be allowed as a secondary user, and all the transactions are done through OTP. So OTP will be coming on the registered mobile number. So that is linked, and we can, like, it is an individual kind of thing. So there are very less chances of fraud, that anybody can do the procurement on your name and you will be caught if something some mistake is done. So it is very systematic way. Monitoring the usage of portal by the team. So the team can monitor. Now, the primary user can assess that in his team, if somebody is using the GeM, so how they are performing, what timeline they are following, when they are submitting, when they are inviting the tender, when they are finalizing the tender, and when they are releasing the payment. So everything is monitored on the system. So actual procurement activity done by the buyer, the bill is processed in time, actual receiver of goods and service. Now, the primary user will be nominating somebody as a consignee. Basically, these are the three things which will be detailed by the primary user. One is buyer, who will be uploading the tender document, who will be responsible for the tender conditions, the buyer. Secondly, there will be one person who will be nominated as a consignee. He may be account person, he may be the user department, he may be anybody who who is supposed to receive the item, check the item for the quality, and generate the CRAC that yes, item is okay, and if there is any fault, then he will report that item is not good, so it will be rejected. Consignee. And the next part is payment authority, who is supposed to release the payment. Somebody from the finance department will be nominated for the payment authority. So they will be dealing with the processing of the bill. From accounting perspective, they will be checking everything that GST details are correct and TDS is cut in time. So everything related to the payment. And they will be updating the payment detail on GeM portal. Now, it is very crucial. GeM is not only monitoring the process of procurement, ordering the things and receiving the things, they are also monitoring the payment, because the sellers are concerned with their payment. They are worried that गवर्नमेंट ने सप्लाई किया है, पेमेंट तो आएगा ही नहीं, पेमेंट तो 3 महीने बाद आएगा, 5 महीने बाद आएगा, आएगा नहीं आएगा पता नहीं, we don't know, and they may ask something in return to clear our payment. So all those concerns are being taken care of by GeM, and payment is to be uploaded in time. There is time frame, particularly that within these many days we have to clear the payment. So the system is very systematic and very clear, transparent, and professional. Now, function based on flexibility for seller user. We have already discussed. Primary user is there. There are secondary users. Now, one primary user can have more than one secondary user. There may be different departments who will be secondary user under one primary user. They will be creating the catalog, they will be participating in the bid, and they will be doing the order fulfillment. Now, GeM is integrating the system into public procurement ecosystem. Now, what is that? Now, we as a procuring entity, we are uploading the tender document on e-portal as well. Central government has got their C-P-P portal wherein they upload all the tender documents on C-P-P. State governments have got their own e-portal wherein they publish the tender document and wherein they receive the tenders, bids. So GeM is integrated with them. So once we upload the document on our e-procurement portal, most of the portals are connected with GeM as well. So now, and buyer side process, these are very important features which are being taken care of by GeM. What are they? Number one is warranty, service, and dispute resolution. In procurement, we are concerned that item is received, then who will be responsible for warranty, for how many days they will be giving the warranty. Suppose we have purchased the IT systems, laptops, computers, what warranty we will be getting, who will be responsible, so we have to keep a track. GeM has got the system that this much warranty is will be applicable, this person will be giving the service, and if there is any dispute, so for dispute resolution GeM plays very critical role. If we do not get the service in time, we can lodge a complaint with GeM portal. So we will get, and they are monitoring the case on a regular basis, and we get very good result. I have seen this, that GeM is doing fabulous work in resolving the disputes. Now, return and refund. If we don't get the items which is of reasonable quality which we have asked, so there is a policy, there is a system built in GeM that we can return the item and we will get the refund for that. Buyer pays seller, buyer checks the delivery, buyer receives delivery. So if we are working in a procuring entity wherein we want the items on regular basis, so GeM plays very like uh, important role in that, and we get the things in systematic way. So there are, it is hassle free, and we can track the delivery even that when we will receive the item, and it is very crucial. Believe me, if as a procurement professional we lose our sleep that we will get the item in time or not. If it is very crucial, then like we are very anxious about that, and on GeM we can take the delivery that when we will get the item. Approval system, it is systematic on GeM portal that once it is approved, once the demand is raised, then who will approve the order. So approval is inbuilt, so the person who is approving the tendering, so he will approve on system itself, and when he has approved, it will be shown on GeM portal. Requirements, specs, and all the things are inbuilt in that. So it is starting from here. People of India pay taxes, government allocates budget, then buyer, it comes to the budget, buyer creates procurement plan. Procurement plan is also inbuilt on GeM portal. We will see that. And after defining the requirement specs, so it is then approval is taken, then order is taken, order is confirmed, then we can take the delivery. So it is like that. Now, from the seller side, so seller, there is one thing that he gets the feedback and he can forecast the need and demand. He can see that my particular item which I am selling, so what is the demand for that, how much items are being sold in last year, so what projection I can get, how much item I can sell in this year. So based on that he can manufacture the items, he can store the items, he can manage the inventory, he can go to, he will get the orders automatically, because GeM will identify that this item is being supplied by this particular supplier. So he will get the orders, he will get the leads on GeM portal. So for sellers, it is a way with which I have seen that sellers have raised their business to a like another level, because they are getting the orders regularly, and the suppliers who are good suppliers, who have got the who have got the like quality, who are doing quality work, so they are scaling their business like anything. So they give their price, and seller receives order confirmation, logistics and delivery management. There is procedure in GeM, and after successful delivery, after confirmation from the buyer, they get the payment in time. And warranty, post-sale services and dispute resolution is being taken care of by GeM very efficiently. Now, the important feature on which procuring entity are relying on GeM, that is price reasonability, because GeM gives us the price trend, that this particular item is being sold at this particular price, and in which month it was selling at that particular price. So price reasonability we can assess. Like, I will give you example, because in COVID, before COVID, the price of items which are of steel, like steel items, they were not that costly. But after COVID, cement prices, steel prices, they were like they were very uh, expensive. The price was increased, so that trend we can see. And online with GeM, we can monitor that what are the price trend actually going on in this industry, and we can compare the price from other marketplace. It has got the feature like the particular item. Suppose we are procuring printer, so we can check that on Amazon or Flipkart or Chroma, this item is being sold at this particular price. So we can compare with them as well. So it is a good feature, because we may say that laptop we are getting in 40,000 rupees on GeM, but on GeM it is available on in 35,000. So that we can compare. And price comparison on GeM, after comparing the quality, after comparing the price, we can order to the L1 bidder. Now, integrated incident management. If everything goes well, then it is okay. But in procurement, it is not so. In procurement, we have got many practical things wherein there may be some incident, like there may be deviation in the catalog. We want something else, and the GEM is supplying something else. We want that we should have 8 GB RAM, but it is not showing 8 GB RAM. So I give you example. So we can report to GeM that this is our concern. So all those concerns are known as incident, and these are being managed by GeM. So they will be giving us report on that. Now, rating for seller, it is very important feature for procuring entity, that we can see that this particular supplier has got this rating. Suppose if we are going to travel to some hotel, then we first of all we check the rating of that what are the review of the visitors who have gone there. So we will say yes, it is a good hotel, so we believe that, right? So now rating for sellers is being given by GeM, and it is being rated on these parameters: coverage, which up to how many area they are supplying. Is it local? Is it in state? Is it nationwide? And second is timely delivery, whether they are supplying the item in time or not. Third is quality of order, how the quality is being maintained by the supplier. And fourth is reliability. Now, reliability is a big word. It is being built slowly, based on the experience, based on the so many things. So they will be also trying to improve, because they know that if they have got 5-star rating, so chances are there that they will get more orders. If their rating is lowered, then GeM system is such that it will reduce their orders gradually. And I have seen the bidders who were not good, who were fake, who were inactive, who were not supplying the items in time. they were weeded out. They were removed by GeM. And I've seen two or three vendors who have come to me that sir, मेरा तो आ नहीं रहा इसमें. So they were blacklisted or they were removed by the GeM system itself. So it is very so many things in procurement. We want capable and reliable supplier. Capable means the supplier is capable who can supply, but reliable is that on whom we can rely that we will get the item in time, we will get the item which will be of good quality, and we will get the service. If item is not good, if item is like it is getting some problem, we can call them and they will come and repair it or give us solution. So all those kind of things are being taken care of by GeM. So it is a big relief for all the procuring entities that if they are procuring the item through GeM, so they are going to have a very smooth ride as a procuring entity. So these are the features which are being covered by GeM very efficiently. Now, classification of buyer, which I was discussing, that it is not only evaluating the suppliers, but it is also evaluating the buyers. We as a procuring entity, we are worried only about ourselves. As a procuring entity, we are worried that we must get the item in time. पेमेंट का देख लेंगे, पेमेंट तो कर देंगे, हो जाएगा. Whenever he asks for payment, अरे सर साहब छुट्टी पे हैं, हो जाएगा. But GeM monitors that as well. If we miss the more than 20 payments, they will give us orange flagging. And if there are more than 30 payments due for more than 70 days after confirmation of receipt, we have got the item. And if we take more than 70 days and if it increases 30 more than 30 payments, then it will simply flag us as a red buyer. So red buyer means we are going to have a very tough time because first of all, our primary user, our head of department who is like monitoring, who is the boss, he will see that he's like our so and so secondary buyer is flagged as a red. So tough time means he is not processing, he is not working efficiently. Secondly, it is from the seller side. Sellers are not willing to supply the item to the red buyers. Means sellers will not be penalized for rejecting order from red buyers. If they give the order, so sellers are bound to supply the item. But if it is a red buyer, so sellers will not be penalized. They may say that sir supplier is red, so I doubt that I will get the payment in time, so I reject this order. So GeM will not penalize the supplier. It is very crucial. So friends, if we are working on GeM, then we have to pull up our socks and we have to work efficiently. It will help us, but we have to help ourselves. We have to have our system integrated. We have to work very professionally. Now, next one is request management. GeM has taken care of everything. Let me tell you, request management is designed for many things. Suppose one example I will give you because in procurement I've done so many things. So suppose we are tendering for AC. We want to purchase AC for our office, and we want service for 3 years, but the suppliers who are listed on the GeM, they are giving service only for 1 year, and we want that it should be for 3 years. Then we can request GeM for adding additional terms and condition. Now, one more condition can be that we want 3 services extra, so number of services required can be added. If we need any additional terms and condition that so many items will be supplied at this place and this quantity to be supplied at another place. So like these conditions, if we are willing, if we want that some additional requirement is there from our side, we can request that and it will be taken care of by GeM. Now, Request for change in existing specification of goods and services. If some customization we need in our goods which we are procuring, that customization we can do on GeM. If some category is not created in GeM, we can request that as well कि ये category का item इसमें नहीं है and we need to procure the item, excuse me. So that particular category can be added. And for annual procurement plan, this is not mandatory, but yes, if we want that we should have our annual procurement plan on GeM, so we can request that as well on GeM. Now, category and catalog in GeM portal is designed fabulous. It is fabulous, believe me. Category is defined. We can just go to the category section and we will find so many products in that particular category. Like in IT section, you will find maximum item related to the IT. Then all parameters which are required to differentiate one product from another is listed in the category. All the parameters are listed. Then catalog is there. Product catalog. Now these are prepared and published by the sellers. So catalogs for particular item is uploaded by the sellers. And separate catalog is required even if a single parameter of a product model is in variance from other model. Suppose we need certain item which has got one feature different from the available item. So for that different item, even for one single thing, there will be separate catalog will be created. So now what is the result? We have got plenty of catalogs. You just type your requirement and you will find the catalog which is matching with your requirement. If it is not available, then it will be requested and they will be added by the suppliers. Now there are category section creation. So new categories can be added by the buyers. It can be requested. So this is the feature, and this webinar in which like we are discussing the GeM, I'm giving you the major features, the broad guidelines, and in detail we will be I will request Mr. Arun to give that we are going to have a 2 days program on GeM, wherein we will be just dealing with all the intricacies, all the detail of GeM, face to face as well as online, that will be discussed, will be told by Mr. Arun later. So now in this procurement through GeM portal, how to initiate the demand, we are discussing it. So in this, there are, in case of multiple item, only similar type of item as defined in by GeM portal can be bunched together. And PAC purchasing, if the item is of proprietary nature, it will be allowed through tendering from a single brand if required. But in procurement, we are not supposed to give the brand name, first thing. Secondly, if the item is manufactured by only single supplier, then only the proprietary purchasing is allowed. So that is very crucial. We all know, we are from procurement field, so we are aware about that. Now, transparency and efficiency is maintained in GeM portal because in procurement there are certain features which I tell everybody in my trainings, that we should have transparency. Number one, why transparency? That because it is the public money, it is taxpayers' money, so we are answerable to the public about the expenditure which we are doing. So the transparency should be there. There should be efficiency. We are doing the procurement with our full professionalism. And then there is economy. It is the next part of it. So compare, search, select, and buy. It allows us to compare between the available items, who is supplying it, and we can select the buyer, seller, and then we can buy it. It allows complete visibility on rates offered by vendors, inventory, how many items are available with him. Suppose we need paper and our requirement. Hello, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Please
Okay,
continue.
okay, 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 okay. So suppose we need 1,000 rim paper for our department, and there is one supplier who is providing at L1 rate. The rate is 145 rupees per rim. Suppose example, but he is not able to supply us 1,000 rim. So we will be able to see that this particular supplier is supplying the item in less rate, but he has got only 200 rims available with them. So we can just customize it ourselves. So we can find that this particular supplier has got this much of inventory with them. It is a good feature for us. If we are like, we can give, you can split our order, that we can do. But it gives us the opportunity to see through their inventory, discount on MRP, what is the discount they are providing, and other details. GeM portal has enabled procurement up to 5 lakhs directly through the portal in case there are 3 or more sellers. Like in procurement, we ask for at least 3 bids. So up to 5 lakh rupees of procurement, we can just select from 3 vendors, and then we can give the order to L1 purchase, L1 bidder. Now, while a catalog is required for creation of bid in GeM portal, system allows us to define parameter value as per choice of buyer. There is also feature available in that, and controls are there. There are validations. Its complete process of procurement is being taken care by GeM. And next point, which I've already told you, that system does not allow us to system to specify the brand name we should not give. In my procurement training, I tell everybody that we know that we have been asked by our like HOD or user department that हमको तो Dell का ही चाहिए, हमको तो Lenovo का ही चाहिए. But try to avoid the brand name. We, if at all we have to give the brand name, use the word equivalent, this brand or equivalent, then we are safe. Otherwise, anybody can question that why you are giving the brand name. So it is a very serious offense on part of the professional. So it does not allow us to specify brand, but yes, the features, the technical specification, that we can provide in our part of specification. Now, PAC, proprietary item. If the item is supplied by only one supplier, it is a proprietary nature. Example, book is written by somebody who has got the rights of selling, who is the copywriter. So we have to purchase from that proprietary person. So PAC certificate buying is allowed when a single brand for procurement of item is available through portal. Online verification, we can ask. Earlier, this was not available on e-portal. It was available on e-procurement, that we were asking for certain documents, that usne, he has given us the work order, but he has not given us the completion certificate. So on GeM portal, while evaluating the bids, we can ask for the online clarification. We can post the clarification. As soon as we raise our query, we ask the clarification. The seller will get the notification in his mobile phone that so and so buyer has raised a query and we need to give the clarification. So it is very systematic. So we can get the clarification online. Now, precaution to be taken while creating transaction in GeM portal. This is for everybody, and we need to be very, very cautious about that. Few things are there, that purchase officer must verify for active consignee ID linked to supply location and DST number being updated in the consignee. While bid creation shall be on basis of product ID, we have to see that item is matching with our requirement, that we can see, and delivery of same item to same consignee at different delivery dates. If we need that certain quantities are required at this particular date and these items are required at that particular date, so that we can configure in our requirement. And physical delivery is to be made at multiple location, then who will be giving the receipt, so that also system is there, that we should make it very clear, because if the consignee, suppose I'm giving you example, if we are asking for like 1 lakh water bottles, and we need that 10,000 bottles are to be supplied at this particular location, and rest are to be supplied at that particular location, and we are detailing one person to receive the item, who is consignee. Then the consignee, if he has not received the complete quantity, he will not accept it. He will tell that I have received only these many quantities. Then the CRAC will not be clear. So we should make it very clear. We should keep in mind that these items are to be supplied at different location. Then what to do? We can create additional consignee in that. So these are the precautions we should take. If we just simply raise the tender and then later on we will find the problem, because we cannot force him that आप sign कीजिए, 1 लाख bottle का है, आप sign कीजिए. Then he will tell that I received only these many quantities. We will tell sir इतना quantity तो वहां चला गया. Then वो he will tell that I'm not bothered about that. So all these kind of thing, as a procuring entity, we should be concerned. We should make the provisions for these kind of things. So these are the challenges I'm telling you. Now creation stage पे, then allowed values के हिसाब से, then disqualification, if there is any provision which you feel that it is to be added, then for that there is a provision for corrigendum. We issue the corrigendum very frequently that this particular condition to be read like this. So this kind of thing is there, then you should create the corrigendum for that. Care shall be taken while defining disqualification criteria through corrigenda. We can write that the corrigenda uploaded specification restrict competition or be biased towards a small set of brand. This is very crucial. Please do not make the specification which is pointing towards a single brand. Like uploaded specification ensure that only a specific brand product only qualifies to submit bid against it tender. If our conditions are such that only one bidder is qualifying for that, then anybody can complain. So we should not try to enter into that field that is a red area. So we should not, first of all, we should not give the brand name, and we should create the specification which is there should be at least 3 to 4 brands available for supplying that particular item. Do not customize your bid in such a way that anybody can raise the question, because if complaint is received, then it is not only being attended by our department, it will be on GeM, so there will be multiple agencies who will be involved in that. So please try to avoid that if possible. Now, GeM does not allow to specify brand at tender creation stage, that I've already told you, and specific brand if required, if it is urgent, if it is necessary that we need only iPad, हमको तो iPad ही चाहिए भैया, then फिर go for POC. Now, participate in public procurement through direct purchase, requisition bid, and reverse auction. Direct purchase, I've already told you that up to this value, we can go for direct purchase. It is valuing only less than 25,000 rupees. We can just select the bidder and we can purchase through that. It is known as direct purchase. Now, L1 purchase, up to 5 lakh rupees, we can go for 3 bidders, we can go for 3 suppliers, and we can make a evaluation sheet, and then we can go for the L1 bidder. Then bid, that is there. Now I will tell you about reverse auction. What is reverse auction? Few of you must have heard about it. Some of you must not be aware about it. Reverse auction. It is very interesting. Now, what happens? Auction, everybody is aware of auction. That I want to sell this bottle, or I want to sell this table. I am just sitting on a table here. So I want to sell this table. I will tell auction कीजिए इसका. Somebody will tell sir 1,000 rupees. Then they will be bidding for sir 1,100. Somebody will tell 1,200. 1,200, 1, 2, 3. Nobody is there. Okay. आप ले लीजिए इसको 1200. It is known as auction. Means the it is being sold at the higher price. Now reverse auction means now I want to purchase this table. I will tell that, sir, please tell me what rate you will give me. One bidder will say, tell, sir, 2000 rupees. I will tell 2001, 2002. Somebody will tell 1500. Okay, 1500. Now somebody will tell 1100. So I will ask for anybody. Somebody will come, sir, I will give you in 900 rupees. I will ask for 901, 902, 903. Okay, sir, आप supply कीजिए. It is called reverse auction. Now, how it is done on GeM portal? On GeM portal, they will be able to see that they are not L1. They will be able to change their price to match the L1 price. So it will be live, it will be dynamic, they will keep on changing. Now, the important thing that they will not be able to see कि और vendors कौन कौन है. उनको पता लगा कि और vendors कौन है, then they can make a loop and they can do some हेराफेरी. So in reverse auction on GeM, it is very important, very interesting that they will not be able to see that who are the bidders available on GeM, other bidders. So they will be only seeing their rank that they are not L1. So they will be just doing their price, they will be changing it, and to the if and after certain time it will be closed, and the bidder who has quoted the least price, we will be giving the order to them. It is known as reverse auction, and it is very important feature on GeM, and it is very transparent. It is economical. We get the best value of our money. So direct purchase, we have seen up to this amount we can purchase directly. No special terms and condition can be added in this transaction because it is inbuilt. We cannot add any more condition about that. Once the product procured through direct purchase, it cannot be purchased again within next 7 days. Please, it is done actually to not to split. If we need item, then we can say, अरे यार 25,000 से कम है, अभी ले लो, फिर ले लेना कल परसों. So that we cannot do. We cannot split our purchase in that. So if it is below 25,000, we can go for direct purchasing. We can select one bidder and we can just give the order. Nobody is going to question us. Once the buyer added product in the cart, then for 10 days the price will be locked. If we have selected the item, if we have not ordered it, still for 10 days the price cannot be changed. It is in our cart, then we can wait for 10 days. We may take the approval and then we can give the order. In next 10 days, if the vendor is increasing the price, then buyer need not to pay the increased price. We will pay the price which was applicable on that particular day. Next is purchase requisition by L1, which I have told you that 3 bidder हमको चाहिए up to 5 lakh rupees. This we are doing already. Now, regular bid, 5 parameters are there. This also is discussed. And there is one BOQ bid. Bid is created by the buyer. Vendor will check whether they will be able to deliver the product required by the buyer. They will check it that this is BOQ bid. Once the vendor click on participate in bid system, system will allow the vendor to upload product. वो अपना प्रोडक्ट को अपलोड करेगा. Once the product is approved and published, then vendor can participate in the bid. Check whether they want only OEM. Now there are certain features which only OEM can. They have to register themselves that they are OEM or their reseller. So if we wish that OEM only can bid in this particular, so we have to categorize ki OEM, secondary OEM or reseller, everybody can participate. So we can just, it is in our hand as a buyer कि हमें कौन कौन चाहिए. If buyer want only MSME, now there are policies of different departments. Government is focusing on development of MSMEs, on startups. Now there is difference between MSME and startup. You must be knowing, everybody must be knowing it, that MSME क्या है और startup क्या है. So that if we wish that MSME need to participate in that, so we can put the buyer preference in that. And startup, for startup, then we can say that startup can participate in that. So actual bid participation, these are all the features. Validation we can do, eligibility criteria we can do, parameters we can add, terms and conditions are inbuilt in that. For bid processing till awarding the contract, everything is inbuilt in that. GEM system will create the contract also. So all the conditions are predefined in that. And after receiving the item, invoice generation will be done by the system. Once the item is received, then invoice is generated and the buyer has to clear the payment within the timeline. If there is any rejection, if the item is not found reasonable or of that quality, the buyer can reject it. But if it is accepted, then the invoice will have to be cleared by the buyer. Now, it is very important feature that tracking delivery and payment, that the buyer can track the item where it is available, where it is, when it will be received by me, and the seller can track the payment कि मेरा payment कहाँ पे अटका हुआ है. It has been cleared by consignee, it has gone to the paying authority, or it has gone to the bank. So he can also track the payment. It is very important feature for both of them. Handling ticket raised and handling incident. I've already discussed that it has got GEM has got the feature that we can raise the complaint. If there is any complaint about registration, we can log in. If we want to add some product, we can also raise the incident. If there is any issue regarding the credential, then we can also raise the incident on GEM. So raised by buyer, so we will get the information reply through mail also and on GEM portal also. So these are all the features are inbuilt in this. Now seller profile, I've already discussed that in seller, for sellers they need to provide their all credentials, whether they are MSME, whether they are startup, what is the turnover, how many orders they have dealt with, what are their invoicing declaration, assessment is done. So all these features are being taken care of by GEM. So if we are a seller, then we need to understand that GEM is a platform which takes care of many problems which we face in our business. So new registration, these are all the features which I've already discussed with you, that for sellers, how to register themselves, there are requirement of documents which we need to submit, and some certain amount of security is being taken by GEM, so that after submitting that, vendor will be registered on GEM. So credentials are to be submitted, PAN number, modification, means everything is systemized, and it is like hassle free. New registration, so they have to submit their company CIN, their MOU, if they are MSME, so to document. And if there is any modification, that for that also there is a window available in GEM. So sellers, uh, those sellers who are watching this webinar, they can understand that everything is being taken care of by GEM. But yes, they need to have all the documents available with them if they want to register on GEM. So category creation, mapping, we already discussed that there are categories defined by GEM. So if we want to add any category into the product category, so we should add it. So there are categories we already discussed. Brand mapping is there. If there is any modification, then we can ask for the modification, and GEM will take some time and will approve that. Now, vendor assessment is very important and very crucial for buyer as well as the seller. For buyer, if we know that certain seller is very good and his rating is good, then we can rely on him. We can give the order to him. And for the seller, assessment is very important not only for feedback but also for exemption, because we also, as a procuring entity, we give certain exemption to the MSMEs, to the startups, and if they are OEM, there are certain exemptions available to them. So in this webinar, we have covered almost all the features of GeM, what are the benefits available to the procuring entity, what are the benefits available to the seller, and why we should use it, what are the challenges available to procuring entity, which I've discussed, like we should not like mention the brand name, and we have to be very proactive while issuing the payment. That is the crucial feature as a procuring entity, which I have faced, which I have experienced in my career. That if we are okay, if we are working professionally, then GeM is the platform we should use in our system. So that is all. Now, over any questions or anything, you can just raise, Mr. Arun.